Mustard Knuckle.
Hello everybody, Mustard Knuckle back again, heading out in the Crusader II from France. Same as the Crusader II anywhere, but this was on the France tree, or the French tree, and we've already gotten into our position over here. We're using the low sides of, or the low profile of the Crusader to get some cover here. Solid shells only, no explosive shells, so it takes a few sometimes. We will talk gameplay here as it goes on. We'll talk history. We will talk about tips as well. Oh, barely missed the ammo there. And if you like the history, once we get into it, we talk that in every video. All non-premium vehicles, if you enjoy that kind of stuff. My gosh, here we go. Alright, there we go. Man, they just keep pulling up. Like, do they not see the other guys get blown up? There's the first tip. If you see a whole bunch of guys in front of you getting blown up and hit and stuff, don't pull up to the same spot. That's just, you know, crazy idea there, right? Now, he's got a fast reload too, but we're a little bit faster. A little bit bigger caliber. We're a 40 caliber gun on the 40 millimeter gun on the Crusader, whereas Stuart is a 37, so just a little bit more there with a solid shell. So we got pretty good pen. This thing's got good speed, good turret traverse, and a decent shell. Like I said, we can pen a lot at this tier. You can see, I mean, I think we just got 4 kills to start that off. That'll work. Holy cow. I mean, jeez. Fun. Alright, so this Crusader, they started designing this thing in the late 30s. I can never know for sure if I can fire through something or not, so I just try one to see. I know you can fire through these little houses down here, but always worth a shot. Literally and figuratively. So, let's see, we'll get in a plane here in a second. We'll get in a bomber. We'll talk some bombing tips real quick. This thing's got horrible bombs, but we'll see what we can do with them. Horrible bombs, but a lot of them. Let's see if we can even get where we can drop them. So the idea is stay high, try to see if you can see guys that are pinned down, and get a slight downward arc right as you release, which I'm not getting an opportunity to do, but that'll get you a high drop on these guys sitting down here, and that'll make those bombs, my gosh. This guy's shooting me with like sticks or something. Finally, jeez. I mean, like, I was ready to go after everything caught fire and started smoking or whatever. Anyway, if you can get that arc down, then you can drop from altitude, which means, nice, which means that those bombs are going to explode as soon as they hit the ground. Now, those bombs are tiny. I don't know if those are 250 pounders or what, but they're not going to do much to much. Keep that in mind, though, as you move on. You don't have to dive in. When you dive in, you give away your spot. Your bombs have a longer timer. The guys literally just drive away. It's completely useless. So try to bomb from high. Try to look around on the map, see who might be pinned down by some of your teammates, see who might be hiding. You can drop one behind them. They'll never even see it, possibly. Stuff like that. Don't just dive down and fly 30 feet above them and drop bombs on them. They're just going to drive away. So start trying to maybe think about bombing the other way, like I was just talking about. That might be helpful for you. So the Crusader, history. How about some history talk here? You can see the fast turret. It's a good tank at this tier. It's fun. In the late 30s, it was time for something new, so design was started. They started building it in 41. These things were designed, or they were bought, no prototypes. It was off paper. Or whatever they call that, you know, when they just see it on paper and they're like, oh, it looks good on paper, and you know how that works out. But sometimes it works, but that's how they ordered them. So they ordered Crusader 1s that had a 40 millimeter gun, a little less armor than a Crusader 2, and the first place they sent them, I think, was to Africa. So, like, let's send these things to like the worst environment we could possibly send them to, with sand and heat and everything else. So guess what happened? They overheated, the sand ruined everything, and they were kind of unprepared. They didn't have parts, they didn't have knowledge. I read something that the manuals, operational stuff, didn't even come with the tanks. So they were... How do you get a brand new thing and no manual? I mean, I know a lot of us just throw the book away, right? But like with the tank, maybe you need that information. It might be helpful. I'm not sure. So that was a problem for sure. Oh boy, they're starting to come around this side now. Yeah. Come on. See if I can get a shot on these guys. I know I can go through these buildings. Oh, they see me now. Oh, a little lower would have been good. Right in that front plate there. Plus side about solid shells is they don't have that fuse sensitivity deal. They're just going to hit whatever until they, you know, dissolve or whatever a solid shell does when it can't pen something. Ricochet, I guess. But, oh, hey, see that turret right in front there that's turning? They hated that. Hated it. Almost every unit that used these tanks took that thing out and either replaced it with a solid piece of something or just didn't even use that position in the tank at all. Oh, here, Crusader on Crusader. I gotta get the win here, right? We're not messing around. Come on. See, that angled turret helps in this situation. I love going against the same vehicle that I'm in. I like it when I win. I don't like going against it when they beat me. It annoys me that we have the same thing and they beat me. Oh, okay, he sees me. Now it is one-on-one. Here we go. Oh, the tree gets in my way. That was smooth. So, I'll throw some smoke. Something that is, I mean, you can see the tools that this thing has. Speed right now, we're going to make a run for it. We got the smoke, we got scouting, we got all the things you need along with that speed to make yourself useful. It's a good, useful tank. Yeah, so that turret in the front, the gun turret, they just got rid of that. A lot of times they didn't even have anybody in there, or they just ditched it all together and didn't have anybody in there. They didn't like. They were not a fan. The operators, the crews, were not a fan of that turret being in the front there. So let's see. So they developed it, they built it. No prototypes, just went straight into service. You can see here it's got those 5 wheels, those 5 what they call road wheels. That's a big deal. That I believe the other tank that was made at the same time as this had 4 of those. 5 obviously gives you more stability. It gives you more ability to go over softer surfaces and things like that because it spreads the load out wider on the ground. So oh, here we go. Oh boy, ricochet! Come on. There we go. Fast reload, important. You just saw it. Fantastic. Man, I'm getting good examples of all kinds of stuff on this tank in this game. What was I going to tell you guys, though? I had some other really fascinating, important information to tell you. It was, this tank in real service it had a timing issue. So when it first came out, the 40mm gun was bigger and fine for what it was designed to go against, which was the early Panzers. Well, then the later Panzers came out, so then this thing was inferior as far as the gun. So they said, okay, we'll design a capped shell for armor pen, so to get better penetration. Well, by the time they did that, the Germans had already figured out that they needed to have something to defend against a capped shell, so they took care of that. So that was done. You know, so every move they made with this was just like one step too late. You're always one step behind, and that caused, what in the world happened here? What's happening? I have no idea what just happened. Okay, well, we're in a plane now. This game's almost over. We are moving right through this, so we'll try the bombs again. This one's got better bombs. Let's see if we can have any luck. Try to find somebody not moving. Try to find somebody from out to arc down a tiny bit. And right when that crosshair goes across them, we'll hit it. Now we'll pull back up. We don't even want them to know we were ever here. At least the guys that we were dropping bombs on. Now here's another new technique that I've... Oh, there we go. We got one. With the bomb. So that's good. So that at least I got to give you an example of what that can look like. Now this thing's got a gun on it that I can at least get a couple rounds into guys. Oh, these guys just ran into each other. Oh, if I had a bomb right now, it'd be fantastic. I'm just going to take it to them. So, we're out of time, so just get rid of that plane, which is awful, but we'll just get rid of it. Something you can think about doing is, if you notice when a plane crashes right in front of you with all the fire and everything else, it makes it hard to see what's on the other side. So the thought is, my thinking is that if you have a plane, you've dropped all your bombs, what are you going to do? Fly around for another 30 seconds? I mean, you possibly could draw fire and stuff like that. That's helpful. But if you see somebody that's engaged with somebody else on the other team, maybe you could crash right in front of that guy on the other team. Block his view from the guy on your team. Something like that might be worth thinking about. Oh wow, 7 kills, 5 assists. So out 12 kills I was in on. Wow. 7 kills, 5 assists, awesome tank, fun, fast turret, good round for the tier. Armor, not so much. But it is a lot of fun to play. We'll do some more videos with the Crusader later on. I don't know how much I like the low tier stuff. I have a lot of fun with it because usually it's faster pace, faster turrets, faster all that kind of stuff, fast reload. So we'll get more into the Crusader in other videos as far as variants and things like that. There's not much more to talk about, but we'll cover it later. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck, have fun. We'll see you in the next one.